Cotton where did he go? Where did he go? Where did he come? The Cotton
Where did he come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Another song I like was that was on one of the job camps.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I got that final countdown stuff in the hotel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because my dad.
That's not a bad song.
My dad was making pizza and then the clock finally went down to final countdown and then he started singing this song. It's crazy how some of those dads never really got out of that video. Oh, man. I mean, I love the 90s, but I'm not going to get stuck in it.
Yeah. I do love how they brought back, what's the name of the band that does the final countdown? Europe, yeah, how they brought it back just for that one commercial. You see it on TV where the guy's making microwave popcorn and they randomly show up and start singing the final countdown. Kind of like what you're saying your dad was doing.
The following is a production of the Minnesota Sports Radio Network.
It's the Wells Fargo Minnesota Sports Prep Update for Friday, December 4th. I'm Ryan Phelps. Today marks the first day of practice for boys swimming and diving. And with that, all of the winter sports are officially underway. Last Wednesday marked the first competition dates for girls basketball, adapted floor hockey, wrestling, and girls gymnastics. Girls hockey's been underway for nearly a month. So we've got the early season rankings in girls hoops. They're posted at our website, minnesota-scores.net. In Class 4A, Hopkins is number 1, followed by Minnetonka, Elk River, Eastview, and Edina. In 3A, Orono, Winona, Kennedy, Hutchinson, and Thief River Falls. 2A, Dover Iota is number 1, then Plainview, Elgin, Millville, Sauk Center, Annandale, and Roseau. And in Class 1A, girls hoops, number 1, Mountain Iron Buell, then Maranatha Christian, Lyle, Austin Pacelli, Browerville, and Ada Borup. As we look ahead to the rest of the winter sports season, I noticed the first tournaments are already just a month and a half away. Most of the tourney action gets underway around mid-February, however, giving us, a little more time. We'll be up in Bowabic at Giants Ridge for the cross-country and downhill ski meets February 10th and 11th. Girls hockey is pretty early this year, February 17th through the 20th. State dance, which is still recovering from last year's state championship controversy. That's at Target Center, February 12th and 13th. Wrestling, 25th and 27th. Girls gymnastics, February 19th and 20th. And the big ones, boys hockey, March 2nd to the 5th. Boys basketball, the 9th through the 12th. And girls hoops, the 15th through the 19th. We'll preview those sports in the coming weeks.
I like saving money. I mean, it's not like I have a purse stuffed with coupons or... Okay, I do. The other day, I went into Wells Fargo to get help with a car loan.
Good news. You qualify for our double discount promotion. Get double the interest rate discount we normally give on select new loans and lines of credit just for being a Wells Fargo checking package customer.
And the best part, I didn't even need a coupon.
Come to Wells Fargo to discuss how the double discount promotion can help with the interest rate on your new loan or line of credit. Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far. Subject to credit qualification. Wells Fargo Bank N.A. Equal housing lender.
I'm in a state of caffeination. Got all my fingers shaking. Must have been my large Americano, mochaccino, macchiato. Now the family's gone to bed, and that's my favorite time to get some tips on better rates. 'cause my State Farm guy answers late. And even when it's not my agent, someone's standing by so patient. Getting coverage questions answered helps me to relax. Get to a better state, State Farm.
Visit Brandy Warmbier's State Farm Insurance Office, located off Singletree and Flying Cloud Drive, online at brandywarmbier.com.
The Sun Current is proud to be your community news leader for over 50 years. Each week you can read their in-depth coverage on local government, school district news, high school sports matchups, community events, and newsmakers. The Sun Current's website is now mobile user-friendly and provides breaking local news coverage daily. Check it out at current.mnsun.com.
A story popped up here recently during our tourney time coverage that we'll give some attention to today. It's not in Minnesota, well, as of yet anyways, but it's certainly in the high school sports world. A retired New Hampshire doctor and school board member has caused an uproar with his proposed ban on high school football, saying the game is too dangerous for underage students. High school football is an American institution, certainly the case here in Minnesota. So when Dr. Paul Butler advanced what many people believe is a radical idea at a sparsely attended meeting in Dover, New Hampshire, the former high school football player himself caused a commotion, near and far. He says, quote, "We have a moral imperative to at least begin the process of ending this game. The literature is clear. This is a dangerous game for children to be playing," end of quote. The local news media soon got wind of Butler's idea, and coverage of his notion that the beloved Dover high school team, the Green Wave, has to go, quickly went national. According to ESPN, big blows taken on the football field can be the equivalent of taking a sledgehammer to the head. And it's not just in pro football. New studies show that minors who play high school football, even Pee Wee League football, are also exposing themselves to the dangers of head trauma. Critics of his proposed ban include the school board chairman and the local newspaper. Rush Limbaugh has even chimed in on the subject, describing critics of football as, quote, "pantywaists who want to try to take the risk out of everything in life," end of quote. We'll get a local angle on this story in the coming weeks. In other news, the Minnesota State High School League Board of Directors met yesterday. Nothing too earth-shattering in this meeting. We found out at the officials summit back in October there were nearly 100 participants that attended. The event was part of the league's initiative to recruit and retain officials, as well as developing mentor-mentee programs with officials associations in Minnesota. Also, about $450,000 was distributed to member schools by the High School League Foundation, and they're hiring. Staff receptionist Nancy Etter is retiring in January. Interviews for her replacement are already underway. The action items at yesterday's board meeting. The first one tabled a vote on a proposed constitutional amendment from the Minnesota Association of School Administrations. During the discussion, board members indicated the voter information is needed from member schools before a formal vote can be taken. Also, a motion to table any
It's time for another round of live, local, play-by-play coverage of Southwest Metro Sports on PSB Media.
1-1, Middlestead, the leader there, and he scores! Pretty basic.
Watch the teamwork, tradition, and all-out competition unfold live on any streaming device.
Tries to center, and he does. 1-2 into the goal. Zog throws it deep, has a man, the catch is made, running down the sideline, 20-10. 5 touchdown Eden Prairie, first play of the second.
PSB Media's coverage of tonight's game is brought to you by The Malt Store, Brandy Warmbier's State Farm Insurance Office, The Sun Current, Noodles & Company, Athlete PT, The Tavern on 4 and 5, and in partnership with Minnesota Football Magazine and BEC TV.
On the run, Bame able to finish with the offhand. Nice move by the senior.
Catch all of the action all season long on your home for Southwest Metro Sports. PSB Media.
Deflects it in deep. Berger plays away from him to the left wing boards. That bounces off the skate. Turned over to Aguilar. Shot and save. Scores! Aguilar the shot. The rebound by.
Game time is coming up next.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Eden Prairie Community Center as we're live for high school hockey here on this Saturday evening as we have Maple Grove taking on Eden Prairie. Should be a good matchup here between two traditionally good teams in the West Metro area. First home game of the season for Eden Prairie. Maple Grove already playing their 6th game of the season, getting a number of games under their belt. This one's underway as Middlestad from the left wing will have his pass intercepted. Now here comes Maple Grove out through center. Dumped into the zone by number 15, Gavin Miller. 2 goals, 2 assists on the season for the Crimson senior as they'll wing it right back into the Eden Prairie zone. Into the corner, that's Trumpy for Eden Prairie. Now it's picked up by Louis Rail, second-year varsity player for this Eagles squad. One handed back out to the neutral zone and dumped in by the Crimson. Picked up by Cole Lawrence behind the net. He's part of that big first line for Eden Prairie. Lawrence, Middlestad, and Graham combined for 10 points in Eden Prairie's first win over Prairie Lake. Last Saturday night, those guys are off to a hot start. Play back up to the point. Lieberman does a nice job holding that in. Looking for a tip in front, but nobody home. Now Middlestad zips a shot from the point, and that one's covered up by the goaltender for Maple Grove, Brady Goodman. And while we do have a moment, let's go ahead and tell you about the goaltenders for both squads. Brady Goodman, senior netminder, 3-2 on the season, 1.58 goals against, 909 save percentage, putting up very good stats. Last year also played in 14 games, going 6-8 with a 282 goals against and 909 save percentage. Lieberman's shot from the point gets blocked, rebound picked up by Jake Olson, and it's scooped up by the goaltender Goodman. Taking a look at the Eden Prairie side, in goal for the Eagles going to be Sean DeRocher. Primarily their starter last season, went 15-8 with a 2.81 goals against, 897 save percentage. Played in just one game this season. That was against Prairie Lake last Saturday, where he stopped 34 of 37 shots. Out into neutral, it's Sam Ross chasing it down into the corner. Now it's picked up by Trevor Janicki. Just a freshman who's already committed to go to Notre Dame. A couple of Notre Dame recruits in this game. Michael Graham for Eden Prairie, the senior, also will be playing for the Irish. Even though you got a couple of Irish recruits in this game, not sure if they'll end up playing for the Irish at the same time, being that Graham's a senior and Janicki just a freshman. I guess it depends on how many years of juniors each of those guys plays, if any. Face-off will be to the right of Sean DeRocher. Into the face-off circle for the Crimson is Valancourt as they'll play it back behind the net. Here's Noah Deraney up along the left wing boards. It gets poked back out to neutral. Now it'll be chased down by Connor Olson into the corner. He's pestered by fellow number 10 for Maple Negard. Up along the left wing side is Andrew Asker. They'll dump it in, but Eden Prairie takes over. Now back from the end wall, spinning is Gray Irwin. Back near the Eden Prairie inch, the Eagles will regroup in their own zone. Goliath's pass was intercepted. Now Maple Grove has it back out at center ice. Trying to weave his way into the zone is Gavin Miller. And taking a long shot. That one pops up into the air. And now it's Eden Prairie from the left side. Here is the senior captain, Michael Graham. Tried to center it to Casey Middlestad, but it looks like Jack Kelly of the Crimson got a stick on it. Now the Crimson breaking out of their own zone as it's dumped in by Jack Kelly. Assistant captain for this Maple Grove squad. 1 goal, 3 assists on the season. There's Eden Prairie. Graham faking a shot. Now tries to go short side, but his shot will zoom just wide of the net. Picked up by Graham. He'll center it to Middlestad, whose shot goes just wide. Graham now from the corner will leave it to Middlestad. Middlestad working his back towards center, and his shot hits the skates of Justin Kelly. Maple Grove able to clear outside the zone, and icing is called against the Crimson. Glad to have you with us here on this Saturday evening. If you're an Eden Prairie fan, we'll be streaming all of their home games this season, plus the Edina Holiday Classic coming up in a couple of weeks. You can find that full schedule at psbmn.com. Off the face-off, having it for a moment, was Nolan Sullivan. Couldn't get a clean shot off. Now Spencer Steen trying to fight for it along the far side boards. Maple Grove will take over possession. That one's intercepted by Hunter Johannes. He's being pestered by Tyler Borsch. Play back out along the far side boards, and that'll be dumped into the zone. And icing is called as we have 13:19 to go here in the first period. No score from the Eden Prairie Community Center. Bring in our camera guy and color commentator on tonight's broadcast, Brian Miller, and kind of a feeling out process so far in this game. Not a lot of grade A scoring chances.
Yeah, not a lot. A lot of defense between the two teams.
There's a good chance as that one was centered to the stick of Hunter Johannes, but a nice save made by the goaltender, Brady Goodman. Like to email us throughout the broadcast. We're announcers at psbmn.com. If you can't remember that, just find that link below your game tracker screen, announcers at psbmn.com. Let us know where you're watching from and who you're cheering for. I know we have several Maple Grove fans turning into this game tonight because we've kind of teamed up with the Maple Grove broadcast crew. Figuring better just to have one of us out here than both, so I'd like to welcome all the Crimson fans watching tonight's game. Stumbling is the Eden Prairie defenseman Delaney. That's going to create a chance for Kelly. Tried to center it, but a lot of traffic out there in front. Now here's a one-on-one. Carrying it into the zone is Nolan Sullivan. Junior trying to make a way around the defenseman. But good defense played there by Jaden Walsh. At least force Sullivan to the end wall. Played back into the near side corner. Young trying to hold it in. It'll be dumped down the length of the ice, or it'll be picked up by Cole Lawrence. Lawrence, a third-year varsity player for this Eden Prairie squad on that first line. Here is Lawrence leaving it for Casey Middlestad, but he gets stood up by a couple of Maple Grove defensemen. Now the Crimson through neutral as Camerata lost his stick handle, as now it's Eden Prairie with possession. We find Middlestad breaking out, makes a move around the defenseman, works his way to the backhand. What a great centering pass to Jake Olson. But his shot went wide. Lawrence tips it, now held in by the defense. Good block out there by Maple Grove. Right on the doorstep. Picked up by Camerata. Name familiar to Gopher hockey fans. And there's, of course, a Camerata playing for the Maroon and Gold. Gophers had a memorable win against Ohio State last night, scoring a couple of late goals to beat the Buckeyes in their Big Ten opener. Here's the Crimson out at center ice as it'll be dumped in by Jaden Roll. I'm talking to a Maple Grove parent. Roll actually related to Louis Rail on Eden Prairie, but they don't pronounce their names the same. Out to neutral, there's Nygaard as he'll dump it into the Eden Prairie zone. Lieberman from behind the net will ring it around the end wall. Now the Eagles turn it over, and here's Black-a-Wyatt. Lieberman with a nifty move around Janicki. He'll dump it into the zone. Chasing it down is Black-a-Wyatt. Checked up along the end boards. Eden Prairie will feed it to the point to Aaron, and he scores! Andrew Irwin with a long shot from the point, got through some traffic, and Eden Prairie takes an early 1-0 lead at the 10:40 mark of the first period. Eagles had two of those types of goals against Farmington on Thursday. Some long shots by defensemen that got through traffic. This time Irwin gets on the score sheet. That's his second goal of the season. And it's Eden Prairie out to the 1-0 lead. Eden Prairie, dating back to last season, are 14-4 when they score first in their games. Here's Hunter Johannes working his way into the zone. Johannes trying to go short side, centered it, but no one home. Held in by Gray Irwin. the near side. Eden Prairie maintains possession. There's a weak backhander from Nolan Sullivan as it's scooped up out of the air by the goaltender Brady Goodman. Crimson coming into this game shorthanded. Their leading scorer Sam Huff is injured for tonight's game. Has 7 goals and 1 assist this season. Had 44 points last season, 13 goals, 31 assists. Crimson certainly will be missing his offensive production tonight. Louis Rail from the top of the circle. That one gets tipped wide. Out in front, here comes the Crimson breaking out of their own zone with a head of steam. It's Camerata. He gets met by Wesley Young, and it's played back out to the neutral zone. Kelly trying to connect with Justin Kelly. Now it's Eden Prairie working their way back into the zone. Good defensive play there by Jaden Walsh to stand up. The Eden Prairie standout Michael Graham. And there's a loose puck out of the blue line. No one wanted it. And now it's finally picked up, and we get a whistle with 9:22 first period. Eden Prairie out to a 1-0 lead. Again, thanks for tuning into our broadcast this evening. Glad to have you with us. And we have our first message of the game from Chuck Ross as he is tuning into tonight's broadcast. Eden Prairie from the corner will tip it back out to the blue line, and then it gets dumped right back in as it's Lieberman from behind his own net. Mickey Lieberman will play it over towards the skates of Cooper Borchert. Now some pushing and shoving near the Eden Prairie bench. It'll be a battle for the puck, and now we get a whistle at 8:55 of period 1, approaching the midway point. Taking a look at Maple Grove's schedule so far this season, they are on a 3-game winning streak with 3 consecutive victories against some somewhat lesser competition, beating the AC Wings 7-1, Osseo 9-0, and Coon Rapids 11-0. So, even though they played some lesser competition, they still have come away with 3 pretty impressive victories. Penalty was assessed to Eden Prairie's number 21, Chris Kimball, so Maple Grove is on the power play for another minute 45. And looking at the Maple Grove power play numbers, 25% on the power play thus far this season, and now it'll be covered up by the goaltender Sean DeRocher. PK numbers for Eden Prairie, we'll at least look at last year's penalty kill numbers, where the Eagles were at 81.8%, so decent PK stats for the Eagles. So far this season, not a big sample size, but they killed off 8 of 10 penalties. Minute 23 to go on the man advantage. Here's the Crimson from their own zone. Picked off by Olsen. He gets tied up, though, by Tyler Borsch. Now a loose puck and a foot race to it. Johannes will get to it shorthanded. Johannes can't dangle around the Maple Grove defenseman. And now here comes the Crimson from the right wing boards. It's Sam Ross. Ross leaves it for Camerata. Now they dish it back to Ross, going short side on that shot. And there's a goal picked up by the Crimson out in front. They get the power play goal and knock this game up at 1. Looks like that's going to be Jared Camerata getting the goal. Sam Ross will pick up an assist. A nice give and go by Maple Grove, and they even this game up at 1. And just when Maple Grove needed after giving up that early goal, power play unit comes through, and we've got ourselves a tie game. Here's Cole Lawrence. Lieberman pushing ahead to Michael Graham. Now Graham will stumble near the red line. This puck, it's Cole Lawrence trying to find Middlestat, but in the way was Borsch. Now Lieberman across the blue line, top of the circle. His shot blocked. Gets back his own shot, though. Now Circling. Feeds it over to Graham. Graham holding it in. Graham to the top of the circle. Now from the dot. Makes a shot. That one didn't get through. And it's Maple Grove breaking out into the EP zone. Using the stick handle as Huff. And now it's Middlestad. Can't dangle the run. He's had a couple of good defensive plays in this game. Middlestad gets it back. The shot gets tipped up into the air. Now it's loose. And it falls back behind the net. That was a dangerous puck. Wesley Young pushing it along those sideboards. And now it's Steen. Nolan Sullivan being pestered by a Maple Grove defenseman. Plays it to Louis Rail. Long shot and he scores! Another goal from an Eden Prairie defenseman. This time it's Louis Rail. That one may have been tipped on its way to the net. Either way, Rail will either get a goal or an assist on that one. And Eden Prairie's back in front 2-1. Brian, so far the Eden Prairie defenseman coming through with the offense.
Absolutely, a lot of hustling on their side and definitely having a lot of shot opportunities over there on Maple Grove's side.
Well, it's 2-1 now, Eden Prairie with the lead. Louis Rail, looking at his stats coming into the game, had 3 assists. Last season had 7 assists for the CP squad. There Eagles out to center ice. Maple Grove will dump it into the Eden Prairie bench, where we'll get a whistle with 5:58 to go here in the first period. You can also follow us on Twitter. We're at PSBMN, and that's at PSBMN. Try to do some tweeting here between periods if we get some time. Find the latest on all the schools we cover: Eden Prairie, Chanhassen, Jefferson, and Kennedy. And speaking of Bloomington Kennedy, we're carrying BBC TV's live web stream of their game against Delano tonight from the Bloomington Ice Garden. Tune in during some intermission viewing here in this game. Getting tripped up was Gray Irwin. Eden Prairie bench wanted a penalty. That'll get one. And now that one's played with a high stick, and we'll get a whistle here in period number 1 with 5:39 to go. Brandy Warmbier, State Farm Insurance Office, brings you coverage of tonight's game. She's a local connection at a lower cost. Also works with the co-owner of PSB, Kevin Hagstrom. He was able to save a whole bunch of money with Brandy Warmbier on his car insurance. I know he highly recommends Brandy. You can find more information about her at brandywarmbeer.com. brandywarmbeer.com, looking out for you, not the insurance company. That's Brandy Warmbier with State Farm Insurance. Maple Grove from their own end. Battle for it along the near side boards. There's Lawrence trying to work his way to the doorstep. Now feeds it to Lieberman. He'll take a long shot, and that one's covered up by Goodman after giving up a rebound. It's been a strategy so far. A lot of long shots from these Eden Prairie defensemen have come through twice with 2 goals. Nolan Sullivan with a clean win off the face-off. His stick was tied up before he could take that shot. Looking for a tip in front. And one steered away. In the corner, here's Lawrence. Lost his footing. And now Steen. Held in by Wesley Young. A versatile player who can play both forward and defense. Tied up from that corner. And it's Eden Prairie feeding it up to Young. He can't hold it in as they'll have to regroup. Here's Louis Rail. Backpedaling into his own zone. Oh, there's a massive hit. And a penalty coming up against Maple Grove. And the question's going to be whether that's going to be 2 or 5 against the Crimson. Meanwhile, it's Johannes taking it over to the right wing side. Play back to the point to Wesley Young. Young with a long shot. And looks like that puck was touched by interference by the Crimson, but the referee didn't blow their whistle, but no harm, no foul, as the Crimson are going to pick up their first penalty of the game. And again, Brian, that was a big hit right in front of us. And of course, in high school hockey, if you hit a guy into the boards cross-checking, it can be a 5-minute penalty, but we'll have to see what they put up here on the scoreboard. And they still haven't put up the time yet. Referee talking with first-year Maple Grove coach Todd Berglund. There's been some turnover with Maple Grove coaches over the past few years, but Crimson hoping that they can settle on Berglund. Meanwhile, Eden Prairie has Lee Smith as their head coach, 23rd year, as he won his 400th career game last season. Overall, his career numbers 417, 166, and 30. And it is going to be a 5-minute penalty assessed to Gavin Miller. And here's a big opportunity for the Eagles with a 5-minute power play. A big face-off win by Jack Kelly. And they'll kill off a good 20 seconds or so on the power play. Nolan Sullivan weaving his way into the zone. And Prairie will play it over to Lawrence. Lieberman with a long shot, and that was tipped out in front, but a good save made by Brady Goodman. Looking at Eden Prairie's power play numbers this season, not a very big sample size. They've had 4 power plays, they've scored twice, so I think, Ryan, even you can do the math on that one. You have 4 power plays and you score twice, 50%. I'm trying to give you a hard time there. Here's Lieberman. Ram, Brisker from the point. That one, heads-up shot into the crowd. Fortunately, no one on the Maple Grove crowd was texting over there as everyone ready for that puck to fly into the crowd.
Imagine that hit Dutch breath.
Yeah. 4:21 to go in the Eden Prairie power play. Funny story about that, but last year, I forgot who Eden Prairie was playing, but it was here at the community center, and the JV team was sitting out in the stands, and they were all texting, and a puck came flying into the crowd, and no one was ready for it. It teaches you not to text while watching hockey. I think that might have been Cretan Durham Hall, if I remember correctly. Back to action. There's a one-timer to Graham, but his blast goes wide. Middlestad from the far side corner. Now on the doorstep, Nolan Sullivan, loose pucks, no whistle yet. Searching for the puck is the goaltender, Brady Goodman. He'll finally cover it up with 3:54 on the power play and 3:04 in the first period. Last season, Eden Prairie's power play unit converted at a rate of 31%. And carry over that success here into this season. Second power play unit on the ice for the Eagles as the face-off is won back to Young. Young to Rail, and now we can get a whistle, and I think we may be getting an Eagle penalty. No, we're just going to get a face-off outside of the Maple Grove zone. Uncle Wyatt will win the face-off, but it goes past the stick of Wesley Young. They'll kill off a few more seconds off the power play. Kimball works his way into the zone. He'll dump it in. It's chased down by Johannes. Young. Cross to Rail. Rail finds Johannes at the dot. Nice level shot. That one steered aside by Goodman. Johannes feeds it back to Rail. Rail dancing at the blue line. Passes it back to Johannes. Rail. Young from the dot. Good puck movement. Now Rail gets a loose puck, but he fires that one just wide. Johannes from the corner, back to Rail. Rail to the dot to Johannes. Fan is waiting. Now walks it back up towards the blue line to Rail. Rail feeding it to Young. Young fanned on his pass. And the Crimson are able to clear it away with 2:35 to go on the penalty. 1:41 in the first period. Middlestad leading the rush. Across the blue line and feed it to Lawrence. Lawrence to Graham. Graham with a nifty little move and then lost it. And it's cleared away by the Crimson. Penalty kill doing the job so far for Maple Grove as the Eagles are now under 2 minutes to go on this long power play. Again, it was that 5-minute cross-check assessed to roll. Less than a minute to go in the first period. Penalty will carry over into period number 2. Here's Lieberman at the point. Lieberman looking for a tip, but Nolan Sullivan couldn't get a stick on it. Eagles maintain possession. Middlestad trying to dance his way. Now it'll work behind the net. Feeds it up to Lieberman at the point, looking for a tip. Good block there by the Maple Grove defense. 33 seconds to go in the period. As spinning is Cole Lawrence. Lawrence will dish it to Graham at the point. Graham across to Lieberman. Setting up the one-timer to Graham, but that one's blocked by Maple Grove and cleared away with 18 seconds to go in the period and a minute 5 on the power play. Time for perhaps one more rush for the Eagles. Lawrence couldn't receive that pass cleanly, and that should just about do it here for the first period, unless Middlestad can set something up in the waning seconds. 1 second, Graham a long shot. That one trickles just wide, and that is the end of the first period. Entertaining one as the Eagles have staked themselves to a 2-1 lead. We'll take a timeout, give you a first period recap in just a few minutes as you are watching high school hockey right here on PSP Media. Thanks for joining us right here on this Saturday night.
Correct, I have a life mate. Is that consequential?
With whom are you communicating?
Jake from Planet State Farm.
Jake from Planet State Farm at 0300 hours. State your identity.
It is Jake from Planet State Farm, home of Discount Double Check.
Describe your apparel, Jake from Planet State Farm.
Khakis.
Khakis. Explain.
A dull earthly garment covering male extremities.
Sounds most appropriate.
Save mass quantities, even at 0300 hours. Get to a better state.
Shop and save with Brandy Warmbier State Farm Insurance Office in Eden Prairie. A local connection at a lower cost. BrandyWarmbier.com.
The Sun Current is proud to be your community news leader for over 50 years. Each week you can read their in-depth coverage on local government, school district news, high school sports matchups, community events, and newsmakers. The Sun Current's website is now mobile user-friendly and provides breaking local news coverage daily. Check it out at current.mnsun.com.
Stream your games in HD like the pros. Have a game you want streamed? PSP is here to help. PSP offers its HD streaming services to meet your request, whether you want one game, a tournament, or even an entire season's worth of games live streamed. Every broadcast features professional play-by-play announcers, instant replay, on-screen graphics, multiple camera angles, and much more. Plus, you can even make money from broadcasting. By having PSP stream your games, you create an opportunity to bring in additional revenue to your team or booster club. You can make money from pay-per-view broadcasts, DVD and digital download sales of the broadcasts, and even control of the advertising space on the broadcasts. So what are you waiting for? Get your team on air and stream in HD like the pros. Contact production at pspmn.com to get started today. We're speaking with Rob Friend at the mulch store. Rob, once people have finished up trimming those trees or raking those leaves, how easy is it for them to stop in at the mulch store to drop off those materials? Or maybe even pick up some mulch for next year?
Well, if you want to stop in and drop off, you come in, check in at the gate attendant, and they'll point you in the right direction after you pay a small fee. And if you're ready to pick up something to do a final garden or mulch project, pick out the product you want, pay for the fee, and we'll load up a trailer or a pickup truck if you have that. If not, we do have delivery available.
And of course, you guys have locations all over the metro area.
That's right. For locations and more information on delivery, you can check us out at our website, mulchstoremn.com.
Great food and great sports. It's the Tavern on 4 and 5 in Eden Prairie. Some of their classics include the Mediterranean Pizza, Tavern Turkey Burger, as well as delicious breakfasts that are served 7 days a week. That's the Tavern on 4 and 5, just blocks from Eden Prairie High School.
There comes a time when even an all-star sister can use some assistance himself.
Do I need to be worried about identity theft? Everybody does. So that's when somebody tries to use my name? Uh-huh. My likeness? Yes, sir. Like if they try to look like me, but with a fake mustache? Yep. And glasses? Yes, exactly. I think I'm gonna need some help with that.
When assisting is in your blood, you know it.
Shop and save with Brandy Warmbeer's State Farm Insurance Office in Eden Prairie, a local connection at a lower cost. BrandyWarmbeer.com.
Get out to the forest.
Let the kids connect to their roots. It's going to be so much fun. Yeah! Woo-hoo! Hey, guys, wait up!
And discover the wonders of nature with your family.
These trees are the key to our way of life.
Fresh air.
What a glorious morning!
Clean water.
Woohoo! This is great!
An endless forest adventure.
Let's rock this jungle!
Yo, this is untapped territory.
How amazing!
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
And welcome back to the Eden Prairie Community Center as we're at the end of the first period here on PSP. The Eagles out in front of the Crimson by a score of 2-1. Let's go ahead and give you a scoring recap of that first period. Scoring for the Eagles at the 10:40 mark was Andrew Irwin, scoring his second varsity goal of his career, as he had a long shot from the point which found its way to the back of the net. That put EP up 1-0. Maple Grove tied the game up on the power play, as it was a nice give and go between Jared Camerata and Sam Ross. As Camerata picking up his third goal of the season to give him 11 points. That knocked the game up at 1. And Eden Prairie, towards the end of the period, retook the lead. A long shot by Louis Rail. So, 2 goals by 2 defensemen for the Eagles. Kind of continues the storyline of what happened against Farmington on Thursday, where a couple Eagle defensemen were able to get goals against the Farmington Tigers. I didn't quite catch the shots on goal from the PA announcer, but we'll try to pass those along to you maybe during the second intermission. And that's all I have to pass along to you for now. We'll go ahead and take another timeout, then come back with some out-of-town scores as you're watching high school hockey here on PSP Media.
And we're joined by Rob Friend at the Mulch Store. Rob, a lot of people are finishing up those fall projects, whether it's trimming trees or getting rid of all those leaves. What can people do with those materials once they're done?
Well, they can bring their yard waste into any of our locations and dispose of it for a small fee. And after it's disposed of, we then process it and turn it into compost.
It's also a very easy, straightforward process to stop in at any of those Mulch Store locations, correct?
You just pull into any of the sites, you check in with the gate attendant and pay your small fee, and you're all set to go.
And if people would like more information about the great products and services the Mulch Store offers, what's your website?
mulchstoremn.com.
Great food and great sports. It's the Tavern on 4 and 5 in Eden Prairie. Some of their classics include the Mediterranean Pizza, Tavern Turkey Burger, as well as delicious breakfasts that are served 7 days a week. That's the Tavern on 4 and 5, just blocks from Eden Prairie High School.
Dudes, been a couple of A-plus roommates, and I hate to do this because you guys have been cool with everything. You're cool with my band. You're cool with that English accent phase, remember that?
We're literally out to milk.
And that theater troupe.
Hey, could you give me a second, please?
But State Farm's helped me be really smart with my money, and I got my own pet now. Oh, no big deal. Mom, Dad, my new place doesn't allow pets. Dylan's gonna have to stay here. One love, Pops.
Start out right in life. With everything from renter's insurance to your first bank account, State Farm is there.
Shop and save with Brandy Warmbeer's State Farm Insurance Office in Eden Prairie, a local connection at a lower cost. BrandyWarmbeer.com.
During this break in the action, I'd like to thank you for watching and ask for your assistance. In addition to live streaming games like this one, PSB Media also produces video commercials for clients. If someone you know is trying to grow their business, tell them to consider contacting production at psbmn.com. The internet is a powerful marketing tool. but due to its size, it can be difficult for messages to reach the right ears. Optimize their valuable time and money. PSB Video will help drive localized traffic to the client's website. Using keyword-driven content, PSB Video can improve where businesses appear in search results. Nearer to the top results means more clicks and more business. So please, tell those business owners you know to work smarter, not harder, by considering PSB Production. Find out more by emailing production@psbmn.com.
Stay current on what's going on in your local community. The Sun Current is a local community newspaper that serves several communities in the Southwest Metro, including Eden Prairie, Edina, and Bloomington. The Sun Current will keep you up to date with the latest comings and goings on your school board, city council, arts and entertainment, and community events. And make sure you check out their in-depth high school sports coverage featuring weekly articles on Eden Prairie, Edina, Jefferson, and Kennedy. From football and hockey to tennis and swimming, the Sun Current has your favorite team covered. Keep it local and visit the Sun Current website at current.mnsun.com.
Well, sir, after some serious consideration, I'd like to put in my 15-year notice.
You're quitting?
Technically retiring, sir. With a little help from my State Farm agent, I plan to retire in 15 years.
Wow, you're totally blindsiding me here. Who's going to manage your accounts? This is a devastating blow I was not prepared for.
Well, I'm going to finish packing my things. 15 years will really sneak up on you.
Jennifer will do your exit interview, and Adam made you a cake.
Red velvet.
Oh, thank you.
I made this.
Take charge of your retirement. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
Shop and save with Brandy Warmbier's State Farm Insurance Office in Eden Prairie, a local connection at a lower cost. BrandyWarmbier.com.
And we're back here at the Eden Prairie Community Center. First intermission as the Eagles are out in front of the Crimson by a score of 2-1. Let's go ahead and take a look at your out-of-town scoreboard and see what's taking place this evening. Of course, with it being a Saturday night, just about every team in the state is playing this evening. And we'll pass along some notable Class 2A scores. Final score, we have Hermantown and Hopkins playing to a 3-3 tie. That one a little bit of a surprise. The number 2 rated team in the state, Duluth East, had themselves quite a battle with Andover, as the Greyhounds only beat the Huskies by a score of 6-5 in that game. Hibbing beat Roseau 6-3. Grand Rapids got a 5-2 win over Warroad. That is going to be one long bus ride home for the Grand Rapids hockey team. At least they'll be coming out with victory hill on that long bus ride. Another score, yikes. How about this one? 11-9. Brainerd beats Bloomington Jefferson. Somebody forgot the goaltending in that hockey game. Some other notable scores. We had Minnetonka. They currently lead St. Thomas Academy 1-0. Still early in that one, midway through the first period. While Wayzata and Hillmurray are also scoreless midway through the first period in that game. That's a look at some out-of-town scores. We'll take one more timeout and have the second period on the way next. You're watching high school hockey on PSB Media.
Correct, I have a life mate. Is that consequential?
With whom are you communicating?
Jake from Planet State Farm.
Jake from Planet State Farm at 0300 hours. State your identity.
It is Jake from Planet State Farm, home of Discount Double Check.
Describe your apparel, Jake from Planet State Farm.
Khakis?
Khakis. Explain.
A dull earthly garment covering male extremities.
Sounds most appropriate.
Save mass quantities, even at 0300 hours. Get to a better state.
Shop and save with Brandy Warmbier's State Farm Insurance Office in Eden Prairie, a local connection at a lower cost. BrandyWarmbier.com.
The Sun Current is proud to be your community news leader for over 50 years. Each week you can read their in-depth coverage on local government, school district news, high school sports matchups, community events, and newsmakers. The Sun Current's website is now mobile user-friendly and provides breaking local news coverage daily. Check it out at current.mnsun.com.
Stream your games in HD like the pros. Have a game you want streamed? PSB is here to help. PSB offers its HD streaming services to meet your request, whether you want one game, a tournament, or even an entire season's worth of games live streamed. Every broadcast features professional play-by-play announcers, instant replay, on-screen graphics, multiple camera angles, and much more. Plus, you can even make money from broadcasting. By having PSP stream your games, you create an opportunity to bring in additional revenue to your team or booster club. You can make money from pay-per-view broadcasts, DVD and digital download sales of the broadcasts, and even control of the advertising space on the broadcasts. So what are you waiting for? Get your team on air and stream in HD like the pros. Contact production at psbmn.com to get started today.
We're speaking with Rob Friend at the mulch store. Rob, once people have finished up trimming those trees or raking those leaves, how easy is it for them to stop in at the mulch store to drop off those materials? Or maybe even pick up some mulch for next year?
Well, if you want to stop in and drop off, you come in, check in at the gate attendant, and they'll point you in the right direction after you pay a small fee. And if you're ready to pick up something to do a final garden or mulch project, pick out the product you want, pay for the fee, and we'll load up a trailer or a pickup truck if you have that. If not, we do have delivery available.
And of course, you guys have locations all over the metro area.
That's right. For locations and more information on delivery, you can check us out at our website, mulchstoremn.com.
Great food and great sports. It's the Tavern on 4 and 5 in Eden Prairie. Some of their classics include the Mediterranean Pizza, Tavern Turkey Burger, as well as delicious breakfasts that are served 7 days a week. That's the Tavern on 4 and 5, just blocks from Eden Prairie High School.
There comes a time when even an all-star sister can use some assistance himself.
Do I need to be worried about identity theft? Everybody does. So that's when somebody tries to use my name? My likeness? Yes, sir. Like if they try to look like me, but with a fake mustache? Yep. And glasses? Yes, exactly. I think I'm gonna need some help with that.
When assisting is in your blood, you know it.
Shop and save with Brandy Warmbier's State Farm Insurance Office in Eden Prairie. A local connection at a lower cost. BrandyWarmbier.com.
And we're back at the Eden Prairie Community Center, ready for the start of the second period. Eagles in front of the Crimson 2-1. Eden Prairie on the power play for another 47 seconds. As it'll be Graham carrying it across the blue line. Graham working his way to the doorstep, and what a save made by Brady Goodman. Getting his leg out in front of Michael Graham, trying to go backhand to start this second period. 28 seconds to go on the power play. Graham stick handling his way to the point, and that one sails over the net. From the corner, it's Middlestad working his way to the point. Now feeds it to the top of the circle to Graham. That one intercepted by Camarada as he's able to push it outside the zone. 6 seconds to go on the power play. Time for one more rush with the man advantage. There's Graham out in front, and that one sails wide as well. Crimson are full strength. There's a nice level shot. Open in front, they score! Off the rebound, it's Casey Middlestad, and the Eagles take a 3-1 lead. And it's a rebound goal as the Eagles extend their lead to 2. And for Casey Middlestad, that's his 4th goal of the season. Now has 6 points on the year for the Eagles. Fighting for it in the corner, it's Hugh Trumpy trying to center it, but nobody home. Eden Prairie will retreat in their own end. It's Wesley Young over to Trumpy. Crimson will dump it back into the zone. And Trumpy from the right wing boards will dump it in. He'll chase it down himself. Getting there first is Josh Wente. Crimson having some trouble hanging on to the puck. Trying to carry it in is Janicki. He lost it now. Rail. Good job pestering Gaglow. Trying to center it, but that was broken up by the Eden Prairie defense. Maple Grove will have to reset back out in neutral. Pushed into the zone, it's Gavin Miller. Looking for Camarada out in front, but misfired on that pass. from the far side boards. That one tips up into the air. Trying to swat that one out of the air was Jack Kelly with his stick way up in the air. Couldn't thread the pass to Johannes as the Crimson take possession. And that one gets shot up into the crowd with 14:30 to go in the second period. Eden Prairie out to a 3-1 lead right here on PSP. And if you'd like to email us throughout the broadcast, announcers@pspmn.com, announcers@pspmn.com. And we want to give you the heads up on Tuesday during our broadcast of Eden Prairie versus Cretin-Durham Hall. Kevin and I going to be giving away some Noodles & Company gift cards if you can answer some trivia questions during our broadcast. So make sure you tune in for that game. Win yourself some Noodles & Company gift cards. Maple Grove will carry it into the Eden Prairie end. Oh, and what a save by Sean DeRocher as Jablow was denied. Now Eden Prairie with an odd man rush. Trying to feed it. Now a rebound and a big save made by Goodman on the rebound. And now back and forth we go with Sam Ross. Ross fanned on his pass, and now he'll have to stick handle behind the net. Couldn't thread the needle in front to Kelly. Now it's Eden Prairie going the other way. Good fast-paced, entertaining action. Here's Middlestat. Oh, what a snipe, and he scores. Hitting that top corner, and it's 4-1 Eden Prairie. What a shot by Casey Middlestat. Well, that's 2 goals from the standout junior in less than 3 minutes. And the Eagles have opened up a 3-goal lead. Maple Grove will dump that into the Eden Prairie end. The Eagles trying to get something going, 3-on-2. That's Lesko. Into the corner. They have it now behind the net where he's pestered the Maple Grove defenseman. Noah Deraney. Rolls it into the blue line, takes a slap shot for traffic. That was brought down. Another rebound given up. Cooper Borger trying to bury it, but his snap shot went over the net. Gray Irwin will shoot it into the zone. That's Connor Olson. Thrown out in front, loose again. And Goodman's had to deal with some rebounds and some funny bounces to keep his Crimson team in this game. Now Rail looking for a tip out in front, and now they get some extracurricular activities in front of the net. Well, the goaltender, Freddie Goodman, getting into it. And you see the goaltender getting a little pushing and shoving, but he took exception to some of the Eagle players trying to go after a long shot. 12:28 to go here in the first period on PSP. A couple of Casey Middlestat goals have opened up a 4-1 lead for Eden Prairie. Is going to get some coincidental penalties assist. A few Trumpies in the box for Eden Prairie. Can't quite pick up the number of the Maple Grove player that's in the box, but they may be giving him a 4-minute penalty and Trumpy just a 2-minute penalty. Trumpy, I think, is going to get the extra penalty as Maple Grove looks like is going to get a power play out of this. So I think Trumpy might be getting 4 minutes and the Maple Grove player might be getting 2. I'll wait for confirmation, though, but either way, the Crimson do get a 2-minute power play. That was a dangerous pass. Cole Lawrence going to pick that one off. Maple Grove at the point, and there's a long shot to Rocher giving up a rebound, but that one's cleared away by Lawrence. Goodman quickly trying to play it ahead to Janicki. working his way in as Borsch. He's pestered by Lawrence. Lawrence can't clear it away. Now he does fight for it, and now Lawrence going to try to get something going shorthanded. One-on-one. Finds Lieberman. And he couldn't quite get enough lift on that shot as Goodman got a piece of it to steer it away. Minute 2 to go on the Maple Grove power play, having some trouble getting pressure established. And it's going to be shot down the length of the ice by the goaltender, DeRocher. Jack Kelly, his outlet pass was intercepted. Now the Crimson have to reset again with 39 seconds to go on the man advantage. They'll play that up ahead to Kelly. Kelly ran into a wall of Eden Prairie defenders. Now the Crimson have to reset again at neutral. Eden Prairie will again clear it, and it's been an ugly-looking power play so far for the Crimson. Unable to cash in, trying to get back into this game, trailing by 3 goals. 13 seconds to go on the power play. Time for one more rush. Here's Miller working his way in. His shot went over the net. Now the Crimson trying to hold it in. The referee with his arm in the air. And it looks like that one was played with the high stick. This season, coverage of all of the Eden Prairie boys hockey home games, plus the Edina Holiday Classic right here on PSB Media. Overall, it's 10 home games that the Eagles will have this season, including tonight, as well as those 3 Edina Holiday Classic games. You can find all of them here on PSBMN.com. In our next broadcast coming up on Tuesday when the Eagles host Cretin-Durham Hall. Maple Grove was just assessed a penalty, so we'll be 4-on-4 for 5 seconds. Then the Eagles will go on a power play. And just in time, Maple Grove is a clear it, as Eden Prairie will now have a minute 49 to go on this power play and a chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's Graham. Just lost his stick handle. Now Lieberman dishes it back to Graham. Lieberman to Middlestad at the dot. Now on the doorstep. Goes to Graham. Lieberman. One-timer to Graham through traffic. Nolan Sullivan's stick was tied up. He couldn't swat home that rebound. And now it's cleared away by Jared Camerata. Trying to catch Maple Grove on a change. Here's Cole Lawrence. Middlestad at the blue line. Middlestad walking his way to the slot. Top of the circle, it's Graham. And that one saved by Brady Goodman. Minute 4 to go on the power play. 9:35 second period. It is 4-1 to Eden Prairie. And the referee wants to redrop that face-off. Into the corner, Johannes. To the point. To Young. Young and Johannes playing catch. Trying to find some space. Here's Rail. The left-handed shooter, Johannes. Back to Rail. One-timer to Young, and that one goes out of play with 40 seconds on the man advantage. I think they're going to say that one was not tipped, so the face-off will be outside the zone. Eagles win the draw. Here's Middlestad carried in from his left wing side. Looking for that short side shot. Zipped wide. Middlestad will pick it up himself. Dancing with it at the point. Now Lieberman through traffic. Dump it down to Nolan Sullivan. Too far for him. Crimson can't clear it though as it's held in by Graham. Graham to Lieberman. Tried to feed it across to Middlestad. They couldn't connect. Graham poking that up ahead. Here's Sullivan. Awkwardly trying a one-timer to Middlestad. Couldn't get the lawn on it. Well, Maple Grove's 3-on-2 if they hurry short-handed, but they move into the zone a little too quickly as they'll have to wait. Here's Graham weaving his way through neutral. Crimson are full strength. Here's Graham with a wrister that goes wide. Maple Grove trying to get it cleared outside their zone. They'll get it out to neutral. Here is Gavin Miller. Miller, a weak fluttering shot that goes wide. Kelly can't bring it in. And now the Crimson will reset with Borsch. More than halfway through the second period, I should say. It's Middlestad. And a nice defensive play made by Andrew Haskell. Crimson again playing shorthanded in this game as their leading scorer, Sam Huff, inactive for tonight's game. That was a big offensive loss for the Crimson. Their leading goal scorer with 7 coming into this game, and also had 44 points last season. Maple Grove also trying to end a long non-conference losing streak. Crimson have lost 10 consecutive non-conference games dating back to the last 2 seasons. In fact, the last time the Crimson won a non-conference game back in January of 2014 when they beat Rogers 6-0. They've had some success in the Northwest Suburban Conference, but outside of their league, they've had some trouble picking up wins over the past few years. Ryan Lesko in the corner. Lesko gets tied up. Loose puck. Gathered up by the Crimson. Now they got a 3-on-1. Here's Nygaard. And Nygaard's wrister zips just wide of the net. And he's going to face off with 6:31. So the Crimson get a 3-on-1 break but can't cash in. The Crimson have had some opportunities to try to get back in this game. They had that power play where they couldn't get anything going, then they just had that 3-on-1. But it looks like they are going to get another power play opportunity as Ryan Lesko, who was sent to the box for Eden Prairie. So Crimson back on the power play. Coming into the game, their power play unit converting at just a clip under 15% this season. From the point, Rocher, a nice job reading it. All sorts of bodies out in front. Maple Grove able to maintain possession. It's Jack Kelly. Kelly being pestered by Cole Lawrence. Crimson able to hold it in. And looking for a tip on the doorstep. Borsch couldn't tip it in as he was falling down. Now Rocher falls down, and they're going to get the Maple Grove player on a trip, and now Barocha with some moves for the Crimson as he'll skate back into the crease. Crimson fans not happy about the call. So we'll go 4-on-4 after the trip on Barocha. And here the Maple Grove fans yelling. They thought that Sam Ross was checked into Sean DeRocher. Referee didn't see it that way, though. So it'll be 4-on-4 for a minute 23 before Eden Prairie goes on an abbreviated power play. Here's Kelly. And now Young for the Eagles. They'll leave it for Casey Middlestad. Some dangerous territory here for the Crimson to get 4-on-4 against this tough Eden Prairie first line. Creates a lot of open space for those high-end players. Middlestad fanned on his pass. Now an opportunity for an odd man rush. Crimson fan wanted an interference as Camerata was tied up trying to start that odd man rush from the weak side. Now it's Middlestad going the other way. Middlestad still able to keep his stick handle. We'll flutter it down low. There's a short angle shot at the side of the net. Now Maple Grove. Another 23 seconds of 4-on-4. That's picked off by Lieberman. Lieberman to the top of the circle. And a nice defensive play made by Jaden Walsh. Now tripped up was Hunter Johannes. Maple Grove trying to get something going. Here's Janicki, the freshman Notre Dame recruit. He got stood up though by the Eden Prairie defense, and it's Nick Lieberman. Outlet pass to Sullivan, spinning around. Now will leave it for his teammate Johannes. Eagles now on a power play for a half minute. Out on the doorstep, and there's a weak backhander still loose out in front. A couple of point-blank weak shots, but they were all turned away by the goaltender, Brady Goodman. 16 seconds to go on the Eden Prairie power play as they're trying to dig it out of the corner. Eagles come away with possession. That weak backhander by Sullivan was turned away by Goodman. Long shot sails wide as Maple Grove is full strength. Out at neutral, Nolan Sullivan will saucer it back into the zone. And gathered up and walled by the Crimson. Sullivan will shoot it right back into the zone. Maple Grove will clear it away kind of inadvertently as they'll get called for icing. With 3:34 to go in the second period, Eden Prairie has a 4-1 lead. Tavern on 4 and 5 has delicious food. They're located just blocks from Eden Prairie High School. I believe they'll be showing 6 games of the Edina Holiday Classic on the big screens at the Tavern on 4 and 5. I haven't been there before. They have delicious entrees that they serve, as well as some great breakfast options 7 days a week. That's the Tavern on 4 and 5, located just blocks from Eden Prairie High School. Ray Irwin plays it over to Papa Wyatt. Renty can't hold it in as Maple Grove has to regroup in their own end. A miscommunication there. Who wants it? Crimson get it. It is Josh Renty. Across the blue line. Bodies in front of him somehow. He's able to dangle his way to the doorstep. Couldn't get a clean shot on net. Nygaard will shoot it into the zone. We'll get a whistle with 2:35. Now, Brian, I'll defer to you on this. I don't think we've had an icing call against Eden Prairie in this game. Can you recall any?
I didn't see that call.
Yeah. I was trying to think, because I know Maple Grove's iced the puck a few times, but I can't think of any instance in this game where Eden Prairie's iced the puck. Middlestad and Graham trying to get something going on this rush. That's Graham from the corner. Looking for the wraparound now to first and Middlestad. And Middlestad gets a couple of stabs at it on the doorstep as we get some pushing and shoving in front of the net. If you'd like us to stream your games, you can do so by visiting psbmn.com and then going to Request Sports or Request Events. Love to stream your team's games right here at PSB Media. Even outside of sports, we stream other sorts of events, whether it's webinars, weddings, community events. You can get your events on air with PSB Media. 2:02 to go, second period. Eagles with possession as they'll feed it up to the point. Young, and now penalties coming up against Maple Grove as they're going to be shorthanded again. Talking again about how you can request us to cover events. Whether it's one game or an entire season, we can get your games streamed in HD. And one of the things we're doing here at PSB Media, especially for hockey, is providing squads a full film breakdown of their games. We'll get to each team by the morning after each game. We'll have a chance to view all offensive zone time, defensive zone time, special teams. You name it, we can break it down for you. So if you have a coach or parent trying to break down film after games, don't do that. Let us do it for you. And what's nice about it is that we do it by the morning after each game. That's PSB Media. You can find more information at psbmn.com. Back on the power play go the Eagles. As Lieberman holds it in at the blue line. Bumping it into Casey Middlestan, where the Eagles just are so good at keeping possession of the puck on these power plays. Quick passers, good stick handlers. Just a very good-looking power play they've had in this game. Lieberman scores! Looked like the goaltender Goodman was screened on that shot. They didn't get a very good look at it, and Lieberman, I think it's a fluttering, seeing eye shot that found its way to the back of the net. I think Nolan Sullivan may have tipped it, as he's the one leading the charge on the high five parade. I'll wait for the official word, but either way, it's 5-1 Eden Prairie. Power play goal for the Eagles. As Maple Grove will have it in their own end with 1:06 to go in the second period. I couldn't quite hear the PA announcer here who got credit for that one, but it will either be Sullivan or Lieberman. Here's Lesko, and he was denied by Henty. Henty's had some solid defensive plays in this game for the Crimson. Tied up along the far side boards with 23 seconds to go in the period. And the Crimson are able to clear it back out to center ice. Dumped in with 8 seconds. Goodman will slow it down and clear it along the end wall. 1 second, and that's going to do it here for the second period. And there's the goal scored by Matthew Jaglow, but that one was clearly after the buzzer. Boy, I think everyone kind of relaxed there, Brian, at the very end, but they were able to thread that pass through to Jaglow with about 1 second left, but his shot clearly went in at least a second or two after the buzzer went. We don't have our replay going in this game since we're a little bit of a short-handed crew this evening. But that one I think was pretty clearly a no-goal. Nevertheless, though, a nice-looking play at the end of the period. Maple Grove kind of catching the Eden Prairie defense sleeping, but the goal will not count. So 5-1 our score through 2 periods. We will take another timeout and give you that second period recap. We're watching high school hockey right here on PSB Media.
And we're joined by Rob Friend at the mulch store. Rob, a lot of people are finishing up those fall projects, whether it's trimming trees or getting rid of all those leaves. What can people do with those materials once they're done?
Well, they can bring their yard waste into any of our locations and dispose of it for a small fee. And after it's disposed of, we then process it and turn it into compost.
It's also a very easy, straightforward process to stop in at any of those mulch store locations, correct?
You just pull into any of the sites, you check in with the gate attendant and pay your small fee, and you're all set to go.
And if people would like more information about the great products and services the mulch store offers, what's your website?
mulchstoremn.com.
Great food and great sports. It's the Tavern on 4 and 5 in Eden Prairie. Some of their classics include the Mediterranean Pizza, Tavern Turkey Burger, as well as delicious breakfasts that are served 7 days a week. That's the Tavern on 4 and 5, just blocks from Eden Prairie High School.
Dudes, been a couple of A-plus roommates, and I hate to do this because you guys have been cool with everything. You're cool with my band. You're cool with that English accent phase, remember that?
We're literally out to milk.
And that theater troupe.
Hey, could you give me a second, please?
But State Farm's helped me be really smart with my money, and I got my own pet now. Oh, no big deal, Mom, Dad. My new place doesn't allow pets. Dylan's gonna have to stay here. One love, Pops.
Start out right in life. With everything from renter's insurance to your first bank account, State Farm is there.
Shop and save with Brandy Warmbeer State Farm Insurance Office in Eden Prairie. A local connection at a lower cost. BrandyWarmbeer.com.
During this break in the action, I'd like to thank you for watching and ask for your assistance. In addition to live streaming games like this one, PSB Media also produces video commercials for clients. If someone you know is trying to grow their business, tell them to consider contacting production at psbmn.com. The internet is a powerful marketing tool, but due to its size, it can be difficult for messages to reach the right ears. Optimize their valuable time and money. PSB Video will help drive localized traffic to the client's website. Using keyword-driven content, PSB Video can improve where businesses appear in search results. Nearer to the top results means more clicks and more business. So please, tell those business owners you know to work smarter, not harder, by considering PSB Production. Find out more by emailing production@psbmn.com.
Stay current on what's going on in your local community. The Sun Current is a local community newspaper that serves several communities in the Southwest Metro, including Eden Prairie, Edina, and Bloomington. The Sun Current will keep you up to date with the latest comings and goings on your school board, city council, arts and entertainment, and community events. And make sure you check out their in-depth high school sports coverage featuring weekly articles on Eden Prairie, Edina, Jefferson, and Kennedy. From football and hockey to tennis and swimming, the Sun Current has your favorite team covered. Keep it local and visit the Sun Current website at current.mnsun.com.
Well, sir, after some serious consideration, I'd like to put in my 15-year notice.
You're quitting?
Technically retiring, sir. With a little help from my State Farm agent, I plan to retire in 15 years.
Wow, you're totally blindsiding me here. Who's going to manage your accounts? This is a devastating blow I was not prepared for.
Well, I'm going to finish packing my things. 15 years will really sneak up on you.
Jennifer will do your exit interview, and Adam made you a cake.
Red velvet.
Oh, thank you.
I made this.
Take charge of your retirement. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
Shop and save with Brandy Warmbeer's State Farm Insurance Office in Eden Prairie, a local connection at a lower cost. BrandyWarmbeer.com.
And we're back here at the Eden Prairie Community Center, second intermission. The Eagles are out in front of the Crimson 5-1. Let's give you a rundown of the score and summary from the second period. Casey Middlestad picked up a couple of goals within about a 3-minute sequence. He scored at 16:04 and 13:41. I think someone's got to watch the volume music there on the PA music there, Brian.
Absolutely. I think startled everybody in this building.
Startled me too, trying to read down that score and simply. But if you didn't hear it over the blaring music, Casey Middlestad scored at 16:04 and 13:41 in the second period to give the Eagles a 4-1 lead. And towards the end of the second period, Eden Prairie was able to get a power play goal. It was a long shot from Nick Lieberman. I think it was tipped by Nolan Sullivan, as that gave the Eagles a 5-1 lead. Listening to the PA announcer, total shots for the game, 31 for Eden Prairie. Unfortunately, couldn't hear for the Crimson. The PA announcer said, that's where we stand after two periods, 5-1 Eden Prairie on top of the Maple Grove. We'll take another timeout when we come back and take a look at some Alberton schools here at PSB.
Correct, I have a life mate. Is that consequential?
With whom are you communicating?
Jake from Planet State Farm.
Jake from Planet State Farm at 0300 hours. State your identity.
It is Jake from Planet State Farm, home of Discount Double Check.
Describe your apparel, Jake from Planet State Farm.
Khakis?
Khakis. Explain.
A dull earthly garment covering male extremities.
Sounds most appropriate.
Save mass quantities, even at 0300 hours. Get to a better state.
Shop and save with Brandy Warmbeer's State Farm Insurance Office in Eden Prairie, a local connection at a lower cost. BrandyWarmbeer.com.
The Sun Current is proud to be your community news leader for over 50 years. Each week you can read their in-depth coverage on local government, school district news, high school sports matchups, community events, and newsmakers. The Sun Current's website is now mobile user-friendly and provides breaking local news coverage daily. Check it out at current.mnsun.com.
Stream your games in HD like the pros. Have a game you want streamed? PSB is here to help. PSP offers its HD streaming services to meet your request, whether you want one game, a tournament, or even an entire season's worth of games live streamed. Every broadcast features professional play-by-play announcers, instant replay, on-screen graphics, multiple camera angles, and much more. Plus, you can even make money from broadcasting. By having PSP stream your games, you create an opportunity to bring in additional revenue to your team or booster club. You can make money from pay-per-view broadcasts, DVD and digital download sales of the broadcasts, and even control of the advertising space on the broadcasts. So what are you waiting for? Get your team on air and stream in HD like the pros. Contact production at pspmn.com to get started today.
We're speaking with Rob Friend at the mulch store. Rob, once people have finished up trimming those trees or raking those leaves, how easy is it for them to stop in at the mulch store to drop off those materials? Or maybe even pick up some mulch for next year?
Well, if you want to stop in and drop off, you come in, check in at the gate attendant, and they'll point you in the right direction after you pay a small fee. And if you're ready to pick up something to do a final garden or mulch project, pick out the product you want, pay for the fee, and we'll load up a trailer or a pickup truck if you have that. If not, we do have delivery available.
And of course, you guys have locations all over the metro area.
That's right. For locations and more information on delivery, you can check us out at our website, mulchstoremn.com.
Great food and great sports. It's the Tavern on 4 and 5 in Eden Prairie. Some of their classics include the Mediterranean Pizza, Tavern Turkey Burger, as well as delicious breakfasts that are served 7 days a week. That's the Tavern on 4 and 5, just blocks from Eden Prairie High School.
There comes a time when even an all-star sister can use some assistance himself.
Do I need to be worried about identity theft? Everybody does. So that's when somebody tries to use my name? My likeness? Yes, sir. Like if they try to look like me, but with a fake mustache? Yep. And glasses? Yes, exactly. I think I'm gonna need some help with that.
When a sister
Shop and save with...
You know it.
Shop and save with Brandy Warmbeer's State Farm Insurance Office in Eden Prairie. A local connection at a lower cost. BrandyWarmbeer.com.
Get out to the forest.
Let the kids connect to their roots. It's gonna be so much fun. Yeah! Woo-hoo! Hey, guys, wait up!
And discover the wonders of nature with your family.
These trees are the key to our way of life.
Fresh air.
What a glorious morning!
Clean water.
Woo-hoo!
An endless forest adventure.
Let's rock this jungle!
Yo, this is untapped territory.
How amazing!
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Second intermission from the AP Community Center. Eagles on top of the Crimson, 5-1. Let's give you a rundown of some out-of-town scores from this evening. Stillwater has opened up a 3-0 lead against Cretin-Durham Hall. They're just getting the second period underway. From Aldrich Arena, Wyzetta on top of Hill Murray, 2-0 with about 4 minutes to go in the second period. Minnetonka St. Thomas Academy are knotted up at 1 midway through the second period. And some final scores from earlier afternoon. Lakeville North beat Shakopee 10-1. Brainerd, a high-scoring game with Jefferson. Warriors beat the Jaguars 11-9. And some other notable scores. Duluth East edged Andover 6-5. Hermantown and Hopkins ended in a 3-3 tie. Let's look at some out-of-town scores. We'll take one final timeout and have the third period on the way next year on PSP.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Sometimes when you return from a deployment, you bring back more than you can carry on your own. Military Pathways can help lighten your load. Through our anonymous online self-assessment, Military Pathways can help you get a clearer picture of how you're feeling and whether you can benefit from talking to a healthcare professional. As you transition from the front lines to the home front, help can be a click away. Visit steptohealing.org for your free anonymous online screening. Military Pathways. Take the first step to healing.
Oh, look, a redhead.
Staring contest.
You still got it.
I know. Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Third period underway from Eden Prairie Community Center. 5-1 Eagles out in front here in this game. As Eden Prairie will dump it into the Crimson Zone. Oh, there's Michael Graham. Had an open net to fire at, but his shot sailed over. He's had about 3 or 4 of those opportunities that he's just been getting a little too much lift on his shots. Eden Prairie back into the offensive zone. Graham with a neat find to Spencer Steen, but his shot blocked. Crimson are able to clear it back out to center ice. Irwin leaves it for his teammate Steen, and he'll fire it right into the belly of the goaltender, Brady Goodman. Any college football fans out there? Of course, it's conference championship weekend, and oh boy, there's an upset alert. North Carolina leads Clemson 15-4 in the ACC championship. Actually make that 15-14 if I can talk, but number 1 team in the country in some trouble in that football game. Also, Big Ten fans, 6-6 between Iowa and Michigan State. Johannes offsides, as will be whistled down as we've played a minute 16 in the third period. 5-1 Eden Prairie on top of Maple Grove, and just like that, Crimson are going to go right back into the penalty box as Gavin Miller, not sure what the infraction was, but nonetheless it'll be another Eden Prairie power play. Rail will slide it across to Wesley Young. He tries to go high glove side, but that one is snatched up by Goodman. Referee with some words for Spencer Steen and Josh Wente on that left wing. Eagles win the face-off. Rails shot through traffic, went wide, and now the Crimson are able to clear it down the length of the ice. DeRocher will slow it down for senior defenseman Louis Rail. Second-year varsity player Rail with 3 assists coming into this game. Johannes on the left wing side leaves it for Young. Young gets it back, now dishes it to Young. Johannes top of the circle. That one was blocked by Borsch, and it's cleared back out to neutral. Wyatt couldn't receive that pass cleanly. Now from the far side, Hunter Johannes stops in the corner. Now to Young at the point. One-touch pass across to Lieberman. Loose in front after a rebound, and it's a goal. Eden Prairie goes up 6-1. Back-to-back power play goals for the Eagles. as they've really pulled away here in this game. Well, now they're going to say no goal. Kind of wondering why there wasn't much of a celebration after that shot. Not sure if someone was in the crease, but won't count. Eden Prairie remains on the power play for another 48 seconds. Here's a point-blank chance for Graham, but lost it in his skate. Wasn't the best of passes. Somehow able to thread that to Middlestad right on the dot. Graham gets it back in the slot, and his shot gets deflected up into the netting. Eden Prairie girls hockey team had a game this afternoon against Thief River Falls. Eagles came away with a 6-2 win. Coach Jamie Grossman's squad rated among the top 5 in the state for girls hockey. Graham fans on his one-timer. It's been that kind of night from Michael Graham with his shot. Just has not gotten it going. He's had some shot sail wide and fanned on that opportunity. Graham will pick it up and backhand it along the rail. Lieberman looking to find Lawrence out in front. And now Maple Grove takes over, and right out of the penalty box, here comes Gavin Miller. And his snipe goes wide of the net. Dangerous stick handle there as Eden Prairie is able to clear it away from danger. 13:25 to go, third period. Maple Grove trying to rally as it's Gavin Miller. They'll play it behind the net. Centering pass picked off by an Eagle player. Loose in front, and Sean DeRocher will put his glove on that bouncing puck. Mulch Store brings you coverage of tonight's game. Still have any remaining yard waste from this fall, you can drop it off at any of the Mulch Store locations in the metro area, Burnsville, Minnecrista, Rosemount, Shakopee. If you want to start thinking about making those springtime plans, you can browse some of the great landscaping products the Mulch Store offers. MulchStoreMN.com, MulchStoreMN.com. They deliver all over the metro area. Best compost you'll find in the Midwest with the Mulch Store. Maple Grove is Janicki and get that low stick side on DeRocher. Now we'll get a whistle, and a penalty has been assessed against Eden Prairie. We'll get a look at the Maple Grove power play unit. And there it looks like it'll be Gray Irwin who will head to the box for the Eagles. Off the draw, it's won by Crimson. That was a sailing wrist shot by Jack Kelly right over the net. Kelly fakes it, then Borsch received that pass cleanly. Loose in the corner. Trying to dig it out are a couple of players from each squad. This is Borsch. And out to the far side corner. Tripped up by Louis Rail. Just about everyone in a crimson uniform won a penalty. They don't get one. Fans on his pass, and that'll force Jack Kelly to retreat behind his own net. Kelly with a head of steam to lead the rush. He'll cross the blue line. He collides with his own player. And that's some rough and tough hockey out there in the neutral zone, and we're going to get a penalty coming up, I believe, against Maple Grove. Against Eden Prairie. I saw the goaltender Brady Goodman skating over towards the net, but the whistle blew as soon as a Maple Grove player touched the puck. Well, they're going to send Hugh Trumpy to the penalty box, but I believe a Maple Grove player also going to get a penalty too. So I think these should offset. There'll be another 53 seconds of power play time for Maple Grove to work with. Those infractions, that big collision they had along the near side boards on the blue line a couple of seconds ago. Here's Kelly. Centered in front, right on the doorstep, an opportunity for Valencourt. Didn't get a lot on that one-timer, but he was left open there, and it was a good opportunity for the Crimson. Walsh's shot goes wide right off the face-off, and that will allow Spencer Steen to clear it for Eden Prairie. Actually, check that out. It's Chris Kimball over there. Wrested back into the zone by Delaney. And we'll get another whistle with 10:49, third period. Some choppy play here in the third period. Different than about that 5-minute sequence we had back in the second period where we had some back and forth, fast-paced, entertaining hockey. Crimson on the power play for another 12 seconds. Graham will pick it up for Eden Prairie. Take a weak shot that's steered away by Goodman. Maple Grove 2-on-2 across the blue line. Lost a stick handle, and that'll allow Young to clear it up ahead to Middlestad. Middlestad can't dangle it around the Crimson defense. Just stood up by Jaden Walsh. Short side shot from Graham goes wide. Now played back to the end wall. From the red line, it's Noah Delaney. Middlestad, a one-touch pass to Lawrence. Lawrence's pass was intercepted. Now it's Maple Grove trying to get a 3-on-2 rush started. It's Lysing, and his shot gets kicked up into the air. Eden Prairie now going the other way. They have a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Graham dumps it for Middlestad in the slot. His shot went off the knee of a Maple Grove defenseman. Well, it's Louis Rail with an opportunity, but before he can fire his shot, we're going to get an Eden Prairie penalty. Middlestad's going to head to the box for the Eagles, so Crimson back on the power play for another 2 minutes. Crimson just have not been able to cash in on some opportunities they've had in this game. They've had a number of odd man rushes, some power play chances, but not been able to take advantage. And Jack Kelly to feed it to Janik. Across the blue line. And now in front. Rocher able to clear that away. Here's Johannes catching it out of the air. And just wing it towards the net. Now Maple Grove behind the cage. Over to Jack Kelly. Working his way to Jaglow. Into the slot. That one was deflected by the defense. Shot zipped through, and that one tails back behind the Rocher as Tyler Borsch and Maple Grove cash in on the power play and make it 5-2. The Rocher got a piece of it, but not enough as Borsch picks up the goal and Maple Grove gets that deficit cut down to 3. So for Tyler Borsch, that's his second goal of the season, gives him 5 points on the year. And should Maple Grove score again to get to 3 goals, that's kind of a magic number for them. We'll tell you about that a little later on when we get a moment. That one was played with a high stick. Play continues. Here's Lieberman. Lieberman from the dot. His shot steered away by Goodman. Black-a-Wyack. One again turned away by Goodman. Justin Kelly able to clear it away. Wesley Young there for the Eagles, and we get a whistle. So 3 goals, kind of a magic number for Maple Grove. When they score at least 3 goals in hockey games, dating back to last season, they have a 16-4 record. When they score less than 3 goals, well, a big problem. They're 0-12. Crimson will have to score, well, at least 5 to get this game knotted up. Some work to go here in the final 8 minutes. That might be one of the first icing calls we've had against Eden Prairie. Wondering about that magic number of 3, at least on Eden Prairie's end. Well, they're 19-4 when they score at least 3 goals. They're only 2-7 when they score less than 3. Those stats, of course, dating back to last season. Well, just when I was talking about in the second period how it seemed like Eden Prairie hadn't picked up an icing the whole game. They get back-to-back icings here during this about 5 to 10 second sequence. Loose after the draw. That's pushed into the Maple Grove zone. Middlestad. And feed it to the weak side to Graham. Flipped into the zone. Loose in the slot. That was a spinning shot from number 14. Jago. Crimson will reset with it near center ice. Graham across the blue line, fakes a slap shot, and he gets stood up by the defenseman Jaden Walsh. That one's tipped up ahead. Here's an opportunity for Janicki, but DeRocha, a nice job coming out of his net to play that angle. Now here comes Johannes going the other way. That one snatched up by the goaltender Brady Goodman. Eden Prairie fans, this season will be streaming all the Eagle home games as well as the Edina Holiday Classic coming up the week before Christmas. Find a full schedule of all those games on psbmn.com. Our next broadcast on Tuesday when the Eagles host Cretin-Durham Hall. And make sure you watch that one as Kevin and I will be doing some trivia throughout that game. For your chance to win some free Noodles & Company coupons. Towards the Eden Prairie bench. 6:13 to go, third period. It's 5-2 Eden Prairie on top of Maple Grove. And they're digging out. Now we get a shoving match between a couple of players from each squad as the referee blows it dead. And speaking of Noodles & Company, again, we're having our Noodles & Company trivia contest coming up during Tuesday's broadcast. Also like to remind you that they provide catering services if you have those holiday parties coming up. Maybe your business still trying to finalize your holiday party? Well, let Noodles & Company do your catering. Nice and easy to get that ordered. Just go to Noodles & Company's website. You can find a link just below your game tracker screen. With possession along the near side boards. played back behind the end line. The puck just kind of sticking along that rail. Eden Prairie's finally able to get it out to center. Olsen couldn't get a stick on that cleanly. Now there's a blast from the point. And that one's blocked by Kelly, but he paid for it. He's a little slow to get up. Michael Wyack from the dot takes an odd angle shot. And the save is made by the goaltender Brady Goodman. Taking a look at the Crimson schedule, we started the season with back-to-back losses at the Turkey Trot tournament before Thanksgiving. Very competitive game, though, against Wayzata. They lost 3-2 in overtime. Then in the third place game, they dropped a 4-0 decision to Holy Family. They've come back and responded with a 3-game winning streak, granted against some somewhat lesser competition, but they've gotten the job done. 7-1 victory over Armstrong Cooper, a 9-0 win over Osseo, and an 11-0 win over Coon Rapids. Eagles with just 2 games under their belts. They beat Fire Lake last Saturday 6-3, and Farmington on Thursday 5-1. The Fire Lake game could loom large for the Eagles now that they're in the same section as the Lakers this season. Eden Prairie getting moved into Section 2 from Section 6. Middlestad across the blue line. Moran had a glance off his stick, and now here comes Maple Grove. 3-on-2, but a big hit delivered by Louis Rail to break up that odd man rush. Lawrence didn't know where the puck is. That will allow Maple Grove to gain possession. Wesley Young. Across to Gray Irwin. They're getting a little sloppy here in the waning minutes with 4:09 to go. Middlestad couldn't get it on the backhand, and now his stick goes flying. Couldn't get those soccer skills working as he'll skate back to the bench. Noah Delaney. Now Johannes. Back to Delaney at the point. Off the half wall, but held in by Hunter Johannes. Dancing at the blue line, now the top of the circle. He zips a shot that goes wide. Nolan Sullivan with a blast, and now some big hitting out in front of the net, and Maple Grove takes some exception with Nolan Sullivan standing out there in front of the net, and now tempers really flaring. And Sullivan gets thrown down to the ice. Needless to say, Brian, I don't think these players are going to be exchanging Christmas card information after this game.
No doubt about that, Brett. A lot of pushing and shoving throughout the game tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. These teams getting a little ornery here. It's kind of been building throughout. The first period was pretty clean. We saw a little hitting in the second period, and now it's really picked up here in the third. I guess it's kind of like spending too much time with a sibling. You can stand them for a little while, and as time builds, you get sick of them, then it kind of boils over after a certain amount of time.
It will be interesting to see what the referees do with the...
Yeah, there was some major hitting in front of the net, and of course with this being high school and, not the pros where you might just see a couple of 2-minute penalties assessed in the high school game.
Yeah.
We very well could see some possible misconduct penalties, but we'll see what the referees sort out. And while we do sort that out, I'd like to remind you that you can request to have your event streamed right here on PSB Media. If your team has any games you like streamed, you can go ahead and get that on air for you. We offer very competitive rates. Whether it's one game or entire season, we can get you an HD broadcast with instant replay, professional announcers, well, hopefully at least more professional than me. Self-deprecating humor there, and sideline reporters get you the whole kind of full-blown broadcast here with PSB Media. Just send us a request. Go to the Request Sports page on psbmn.com. And I'd like to also remind you that we stream a lot more than sports as well here on PSB, whether it's corporate events, webinars, community events, weddings. We can stream those as well. In fact, get this, coming up New Year's Day, Brian, early that morning we're going to be streaming the A-Lark Ice Dive into Lake Minnetonka. Basically about 300 people take turns diving into Lake Minnetonka for the A-Lark charity. And
have you ever done the polar plunge before?
Yeah, it's a lot like that. I haven't done the polar plunge. I at least get the excuse that I'm streaming the event and working and don't have to jump into the lake. But yeah, the A-Lark Ice Dive, very similar to the polar plunge.
Looks like I have another item to get off my
well, hey, if you want to do it, well, what they do at the A-Lark Ice Dive, it's kind of interesting where the number of times you get, the bigger the robe you get. So it's kind of like wrestling. Or if you've dived 5 times in 5 years, you'll get, I think, a Barracuda robe. I think the highest one you get is if you've taken 20 dives over 20 years. You get, I think, kind of like a Ric Flair type robe. So it's all for fun, it's all for pride, and kind of those bragging rights. Everyone's trying to shoot for that 20-year robe.
Oh, he's done it 20 years in a row? Right.
People have done it, yeah, for 20 years in a row. Yeah, exactly. My aunt and uncle, I think, are up near 15, so they're trying to get that 20-year robe. But anyways, that's just an example of a non-sporting event we can stream here on PSB Media. It's a really fun event on New Year's Day. And if you have any community events like this that you'd like streamed, you can, of course, contact us here at PSB Media. We're kind of getting debate club out there at center ice as we see the captains for both teams out there talking to the referees.
This is pretty similar to that Eden Prairie Benode game last year, where they had that.
Yeah. Did you see that on the news when that happened, when they had that big brawl?
Yeah, I read it myself in the paper.
I wasn't there myself, but Kevin, who works for us as well, was actually doing some film for Eden Prairie in that one and was actually able to get it recorded. And yeah, it got pretty ugly towards the end. Basically, there were a lot of section games like that kind of throughout the metro area last year where a lot of people were kind of hypothesizing that it was, one team saw another team brawling and they thought, oh, we got to one-up that. It's kind of maybe some one-upsmanship going on. Like I know Minnetonka, Wayzata had a big brawl at the end of their section game last year. I want to say Jefferson might have been involved in one too. Yeah, there was some ugly scenes during the section playoffs last year.
Well, luckily neither team are Santa Claus because both teams will definitely be getting cold from the opposite side. Yeah,
I gotta hope Santa's not watching this game. We've had some naughtiness. Don't quite have the comedy drum for you though. I don't know if you want to maybe zoom in on the boxes, but we kind of got a party in each penalty box going on. I think we got 4 Maple Grove guys in their box and 3 Eden Prairie guys in their box. Looking at the scoreboard, though, we have 5 minutes of penalties assessed to Eden Prairie and 4 minutes of penalties assessed to Maple Grove. We're going to stay 4-on-4, though, so I think that after the 4-minute sequence, we would see an Eden Prairie power play. Well, actually, we won't because there's only 3:13 left in the game, but keep it simple. We should be 4-on-4 for the last 3:13 unless we have any more monkey business here at the end of this one. Middlestad passing it over to Lieberman, trying to go back across the ground, but they couldn't connect. Middlestad can't dance his way to the slot. Kind of looked like an Eden Prairie power play, but it is 4-on-4. There's a fancy little jump there from Andrew Irwin. Some good ups on the ice for him. 2:21 to go in the third period. Off of a change, there was a shot fired from Gavin Miller that got deflected wide. And that puck will trickle just wide of the net for an icing call against the Eagles. Upcoming schedule for both teams. Again, as we've said, Eden Prairie's next game on Tuesday against Cretin-Durham Hall. We'll have that streamed on PSP Media. Crimson's next game is on Tuesday as well. They'll host Elk River. I believe the Crimson web streaming crew will probably have that game broadcast if you're a Maple Grove fan. Should be a good matchup, though, between the Crimson and Elks. Those are two of the better teams in the Northwest Suburban Conference. .96 seconds to go in this game, and I think they're going to get another penalty. I'm not sure how many more guys Eden Prairie can fit in their penalty box, but Olin Sullivan's going to join.
More penalties you get, the more chances the penalty box becomes the house.
They almost have a full team in that penalty box.
Too bad Thanksgiving. Too bad Thanksgiving already went by.
That's right. Maple Grove now down to just two guys in their box.
You remember the Calgary Flames and the Vancouver Canucks where they had 8 players in one box for each?
Yeah. I forgot with that, though. Did they actually stuff 8 guys in the penalty box?
Yeah, absolutely. Before they decided to get those players out the
Yeah. That's kind of some old-time hockey. I'm a college guy. North Dakota had that, I think back in the 80s or 90s. There's a funny YouTube video where they had like 8 or 10 guys in their penalty box. Yeah, I wonder what the limit is before the scorekeeper says there's too many guys in the box and you got to go sit on the bench or something. It's like one of those things where you see how many people you can fit in a phone booth. At least in the penalty box, I think Spencer Steen threw the short stick as he's the only one standing up. I think they ran out of bench space. That's cleared away by the Eagles. Maple Grove is on a 4-on-3 power play for the next minute 22, unless we get yet another penalty against either squad. Able to hold it in. The Crimson, and they'll have to reset and watch out. Hugh Trumpy's hustling after this puck, and he's able to knock it down. Good hustle play there from the senior forward. One of the notable career highlights for Trumpy was scoring a game-winning overtime goal for Eden Prairie. I think it was against Hillmary. I know it was in the Schwann Cup last season, but my memory's kind of going whether that OT victory was against Hillmary or Burnsville, where Trumpy scored that overtime winner. Locked out in front and cleared away by Wesley Young. Durrani. Olsen will blast that down. Final 12 seconds in this game. The Crimson can create one more opportunity in the final 3 seconds. There's a nice move and a score! Matthew Jaglow with some fancy stick handling as he gets on the score sheet with 0.8 seconds left. Got to play to the final horn and credit him for hustling and creating a nice opportunity with some good stick handling, and Maple Grove makes the score 5-3. For Matthew Jaglow, that's his first goal of the season. And that will do it. This game has gone final. Eden Prairie beats Maple Grove 5-3. Stay tuned as we will have the Sun Current Show on the way in just a couple of minutes. We'll give you a score recap and some final thoughts on tonight's game. You are watching high school hockey on PSP Media.
The Sun Current is proud to be your community news leader for over 50 years. Each week you can read their in-depth coverage on local government, school district news, high school sports matchups, community events, and newsmakers. The Sun Current's website is now mobile user-friendly and provides breaking local news coverage daily. Check it out at current.mnsun.com.
Back at the Eden Prairie Community Center, the Eagles top the Crimson by a final score of 5-3. Let's go ahead and give you a scoring recap of tonight's game. It was Eden Prairie getting on the score sheet first. It was a long shot by defenseman Andrew Irwin to put the Eagles up in front 1-0 at 10-10. Maple Grove was able to tie it up on a goal by Jared Camarada midway through the first period, but then Eden Prairie took the lead in the final few minutes on a Louis Rail long shot to put EP up 2-1 after the first period. In the second period, a couple of early Casey Middlestad goals put Eden Prairie on top 4-1, extended their lead to 5-1 on a Nolan Sullivan tip-in from a Nick Lieberman shot. 5-1 was our score after two periods. Then in the third, Maple Grove was able to get a couple of goals at 8:49. Tyler Borsch was able to score his second goal of the season. Then with 0.8 seconds remaining, literally at the buzzer, it was Maple Grove's Matthew Jaglow scoring. That made the final score 5-3, and at least the final a little more respectable for the Crimson. Our post-game show brought to you by the Sun Current, your community news leader for over 50 years. Find the latest on school board news, local government, community events, high school sports, lots more. Current.mnsun.com, current.mnsun.com, your news source for the Southwest Metro. Eden Prairie moves to 3-0 on the season. Maple Grove will have their three-game winning streak snapped as they'll drop to 3-3, and their non-conference losing streak will extend to 11 games, dating back to 2 years ago. Up next, Maple Grove at home on Tuesday. They'll host Elk River. I believe the Crimson broadcast crew will provide the live stream of that game. And for Eden Prairie, they're hosting Cretin-Durham Hall on Tuesday. We'll stream that game here on PSB Media. And don't forget, we'll be doing some Noodles & Company trivia coming up during that game. Your chance to win some gift cards to Noodles & Company. Don't want to miss that. Final score tonight from the Eden Prairie Community Center. Eden Prairie 5, Maple Grove 3. For Brian Miller, this is Brett Johnson. Thanks for tuning in, and have a good night.
Thanks for tuning in to live, local, play-by-play coverage of tonight's game. Catch all the action all season long on your home for Southwest Metro Sports, PSB Media. Tonight's game was brought to you by The Mulch Store, Brandy Warmbeer's State Farm Insurance Office, Athlete PT, Noodles & Company of Eden Prairie, The Sun Current, The Tavern on 4 and 5, and in partnership with Minnesota Football Magazine and BEC TV. You can find an archived broadcast of tonight's game available 24/7 on PSBMN.com.